and welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boy Mo and your girl Polly. And this is the Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games, comics. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, you know what to do. Get down there and hit like on this video. So welcome back to Superhero Spring. We're the first week of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like all this superhero stuff, it's like pollen. It's just all over the place. I'm sneezing a lot. My allergies are. I'm allergic to lame superhero stuff. But thankfully, we're not getting any of that. We're getting all peak.
Yeah, we're probably getting some of that. We just don't follow it.
Yeah. We're looking at is peak superhero stuff.
We're vaccinated.
Yeah. we're taking our our antihistamines against lame shit. But no, this week, Invincible season 4 dropped first few episodes. We got a dope ass Spider-Man trailer that we're going to talk about later. We're highly anticipating. What is it?
Daredevil.
Daredevil. I think it's next week.
Yeah, I think it's 24th.
The Boys. Yeah, The Boys is the week after that. It's going crazy right now. It really is. And Marvel Rivals apparently is going crazy right now too. It did a new season start. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
So either way, Polly, good to see you. How you doing? What you been up to? That's nerdy.
Great. Well, you probably can't see my red eyes, but I have been playing all night, like 10. Well, it wasn't 2 days away from the end of the season on Marvel Rivals, season 6, 6.5 actually, because second half of the season, you know how it works.
Yeah.
Complicated. So yeah, 2 days before the end of the season, I decided, wow, you know what I should do? I should get placed in ranked. So I need to play 10 matches and then get placed in like silver or gold or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and then yesterday, 10 hours away from the end of the season, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get to gold. I'm gonna get those free costumes, free skins for the new characters introduced in the previous season, and I did that, and that's why I haven't slept enough. Because yeah, I set a goal and I achieved that.
Yeah.
And that's probably
I'm sure that's not going to affect anything.
No, you know what? It's good. It's like finally achieving things in life. Feels right. I feel successful.
It's
like those people on Instagram who post like photos and videos from high towers with a glass of champagne, stuff like that. Well, I don't drink and I'm afraid of the heights, so here's my success. Enjoy it. Bask in it.
Well, you have to take your wins and celebrate them. I bet people would sure have loved to have seen that on Twitch or something too, like a 10-hour
yeah. But it was late at night and I wasn't talking. I was like crazy focused. I was insanely focused. Never been focused that hard in my life. Well, but today, new season started. I got those costumes. I even tried out the new character, White Fox. Pretty fun. She's a strategist, and she's kind of like a mix of
Aryan Fox. It wasn't Aryan.
No, surprisingly. But it's gonna be Black Cat is coming later this season, so we can get that too.
Okay, well that's what's I do like Black Cat as a character, and she's
yeah, but she's like it looks like she's gonna be a melee character, and it is hard. It's like another Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be difficult.
Nice, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Any other nerdy stuff you did this week?
I did have I already said that? Yeah, I definitely rewatched Sinners. I think it's nerdy enough. It's definitely nerdy.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Oh yeah, watched some documentaries. Not fun, like about predators in Hollywood. A lot of those too.
Wonderful.
Yeah, fun stuff. And of course, I did not read any comics because you see, I've been busy. I had stuff like urgent stuff end of the season, and been doing like just generally hanging out, looking at books, not
Touching
reading
grass,
anything.
touching grass,
Yeah,
apparent.
I did
Yeah,
touch some grass. Yeah,
nice.
went for a walk.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
You know
a lot
me,
of stuff.
I'm touching grass all the time. Like my garden, it's spring here. Everywhere else, it's still cold as hell, but it's Florida, so we're definitely in the in our little small spring before hell on earth comes, or all, as we like to call it, summer. Uh, so I've been busy gardening and all that stuff, but y'all don't care about that. um, I went my nerdy stuff this week. Not a lot. Didn't read any comics. Didn't play. I think I played a little bit of Street Fighter, but whatever. It's not enough to count. Um, but I did watch Welcome to Derry. I started watching Welcome to Derry because my daughter wanted to. She's already seen it. She was like, "You got to watch it." So we watched a couple of episodes. Let me tell you what, Pennywise, what a he sucks. But I mean, everyone knows that. But like in a way, I watched them. I wasn't even really scared by the show. I was just kind of like watching it the way I watch Nightmare on Elm Street, thinking to myself like, "God damn, Freddy, really you be on some other." And I like that they did a switcheroo in the first episode. Like you think you're watching one thing, and then they're like, "Nah." You think you know what's going? No. And I was like, okay, fair enough. It's good. I enjoy the show so far. So I think it's 8 episodes. Next few weeks I'll finish watching that. It's quite good. I also understand why people dislike the main girl Lily. I get it. She does suck. I get it. But I also understand why she's doing what she's doing. And again, we haven't in the first 2 episodes. You don't see Pennywise as you see him, like the clown. You don't see him, but you see him manifesting, doing some real fucked up things, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's a good show. Uh,
Doesn't enjoy fucked up things.
yeah, I mean, my daughter was like, why everything just sounds so wet and like drippy in it," and I was like, "That's fair. It is a very moist show. It's a very like they go out. Whoever was doing Foley on that was just like they were like a pig at the trough because they were slopping everything around. It was really crazy.
You
There's
know,
so
I surprisingly I have not watched or read it, and I have not seen this show. So
oh
this is completely unfamiliar theme to me. I'm planning on doing that eventually, but like, I don't know. Now that you're saying it's so wet and moist, I don't know.
yeah, it's quite.
Maybe when it's hot in the summer, I would be able to enjoy that.
I
Feel
would
like it feels like it's fall now. I don't know.
yeah
Weird.
I would say if you're gonna get into it, I mean, you can read the book, sure, why not? I would say the this is essentially a prequel for the It Chapter 1 and 2 movies. So you can watch the first those movies and then watch this as a prequel, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. It's good though. I'm enjoying it. Also, um, I went to the movies yesterday to see Project Hail Mary. If you want to know I had some short thoughts. I think I may even do a review of the movie. I really liked it. I know the book. I listened to the audio book, and I like Andy Weir's writing because I really like Martian. The Martian is one of my favorite movies ever. I enjoyed the book. The book was very good too. So I was really looking forward to this movie. It's an excellent adaptation. This is Lord and Miller, the Spider Verse guys, among other things. Lord and Miller are the directors of this. They do an excellent job. I love space movies anyway. This does a great job of capturing the whole space, going through space thing. There's also an alien in it, and it's like they're cooperating to basically save their respective planets. It's a beautiful buddy story, friendship and all that other good stuff, but it's with an alien that looks like a rock with legs. And I will tell you that rock with legs is gonna make you shed tears. You're gonna really love Rocky is the name of the character. You're gonna really love Rocky. Ryan Gosling's great in this. Like, and it's basically him acting against a green screen or against a puppet, and he does a great job. I think all the special effects are great. There are many cool sequences, very some really thrilling sequences. There's a lot of like exterior, spaceship stuff. There's stuff going on in space. Uh, the human characters that are in it, they're doing a great job. I love it. I think this is a great. I want to see it again, and I encourage everyone to go see this. It's if you like The Martian, this is up your alley, and I think it's really well done. So, um, beyond that, mother nerdy stuff. Really, I wanted to say in advance, we're not going to talk about Invincible this week because both neither of us watched the new season. Uh, Polly because she still hasn't finished watching season 3, and me because it's dropped on Wednesday, which is a day that I work all day, and then yesterday I was quite busy doing a lot of other things besides going to the movies, so I didn't get around to it. And honestly, I sort of forgot that it had dropped, so I didn't watch it when I got back from the movie. So my bad. Not being a very good superhero nerd, but I will get to it, and next week I'll talk about the first half of the season. I'm gonna imagine Polly's not gonna be at there, so it'll just be me talking about it. Unless you're just gonna binge season 3 all the way, and then watch season 4.
I might,
It's
set my goals and I
it's.
achieve them.
Let me say the episodes are long. These are, I looked at them. There's something like 45 to 50 minutes each, sometimes
Yeah,
more.
that might not happen.
So they're quite long. So y'all give me some grace there. Um, so we'll talk about that next week. I do also want to kind of note the passing of Chuck Norris. He's not a superhero, but he is, a lot of nerds really liked it, especially if you're of a certain age. The Chuck Norris meme was a big thing on the internet probably 20 years ago. Is that right? Is it 20 years ago? That sounds about right. The Chuck Norris
I don't know.
he could roundhouse, the earth, he's when he does push-ups, he's not doing push-ups, he's pushing the earth down, that sort of thing. Also, his personal politics were trash. I just want y'all to know that. He was a MAGA Trumper and all that other stuff. Garbage. He was like that before Trump. So, like, we knew about this. But, I liked some of the stuff he did. So, I guess he's gone. I'm not going to, I'm not mad. I'm not sad that he's passed away. I really hadn't thought too much about him until they said he went to the hospital and then he died today. My world's not gonna change because he's not here. I'm not sad about it, but he did some stuff, I guess. So there you go. Uh,
Well, you know what? You just mentioned it, and I remember that I think like a month ago or or so. For some reason, yeah, I remembered about him, and I checked out like what's up with him, and he died. Well, I guess that's problem solved.
yeah. I mean, so one less person with really problematic politics going on. One less fascist supporter. I'm not sad
Well,
about
I
that.
thought he was like dead already, but
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is you're like
happens.
he's still alive. He was 86, so he lived long enough to support some really terrible people. But you know what? I wish some other people would follow in his footsteps. How about that? Anyway,
You mean politics wise or dying wise? Because
that
have to be clear about these things.
the dying
It's like
part.
making a wish to a genie.
Yeah, the dying part. That there's already plenty enough that are following his political stupidity. Um, anyway, Chuck Norris. So that being said, I do have one little thing. You know what we always do. If I have the money and I have the ability, whoops, wrong one. Nerd on a
Which
budget.
you said you said you didn't have. You said you were holding back on this.
You would think I do, but like sometimes I catch a deal and I can't say no to it. Look, guys, I was very, very disciplined this week. I could have spent like $40 and got a few new action figures, but I didn't. And now a couple of them have stopped being on sale, so now I have no reason to even buy them. I'm being good, but I couldn't help myself. And I didn't. You know what? I forgot to bring it. Let me go grab it. I couldn't help myself, y'all. I think this was $8. Yeah, it was $8 on Amazon. So what I got. This is the Holocom collection of the Star Wars Black series. This is Osha, uh, Osha Anasaya from the Acolyte. I already. This is literally just a blue version of a figure I already have. But it was $8, and I was like, I can't say no to that. Also, this thing lights up. I have the Ezra Bridger one, so you set it on here, it lights up and makes it look like they're communicating through the holocom. Very cool. I am going to take this out of the box, and I will stand it next to Ezra Bridger and put batteries in it, and occasionally press the button just to be like cool, right? But it has all of her accessories. Every from the basically this was what in video games would be a palette swap, right? They basically it just everything is blue and clear see through, but it's all of her stuff that you get in the original figure, but just like that, so that it can kind of glow blue. Cool stuff. That's all look. I could have had more, but I had discipline. And I said no.
Good.
I let the stuff sit in my cart until it was not on sale anymore. And then I was like, all right, well, oh well. But we'll see. There's stuff that's calling my name right now, and I gotta I have a second job now, and I'm getting a little extra money, but we'll see. That being said, we are going to talk about a bit of news. This is a slow news week, but fortunately, big things happen. A couple big things happen, and we are going to talk about that. One was the Oscars, and we're going to talk about Sinners getting snubbed, and what to me that means how we should be looking at the Academy and the voting body of the Academy. What's his name? Damon Lindelof, who is one of the showrunners and creators of the Lantern series, said some stuff that got Grant Morrison to, have some choice words about him and his leadership on the show. We're going to talk about that little dust up between those two nerds. And then we're going to talk about the Brand New Day trailer, right? We're going to talk about. Oh, and also, this is just for Polly. Polly wanted to talk about Buffy and the Buffy series that's not happening anymore. We got that news this week, and we're gonna let her talk about that and unload on. I'm assuming on a certain Hulu executive whose name we don't know, but probably we do know. But after that, we're going to talk about Brand New Day, the Brand New Day trailer. The internet is a buzz about it. It's crazy. It's awesome. We got a lot to say. So, Polly, you ready to get into this?
Oh yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, before we talk about Sinners, I'm going to let you talk about the Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot that is not happening. It is.
Oh yeah.
So this is what I know about it. I'm going to say what I know about it, and then I'm going to be quiet, and you're going to take over. This is what I know about it. It is it's a sequel series. It was a new Slayer. The young lady that plays Fern from the Acolyte was meant to be
Skeleton Crew.
Oh, so I'm sorry,
Skeleton
Crew. Skeleton Crew. No, you're right.
Yeah,
Acolyte. I got Acolyte in my head because I was talking about the
of course
action figure. But from Skeleton Crew, the young lady that's playing Fern was going to be the new Slayer. Sarah Michelle Gellar was returning. I'm assuming other people from the show whose characters weren't killed were going to come back too. Everyone's like, "Oh, yay, this is dope." And then I want to say at the beginning of the week, Sarah Michelle Gellar puts out a social media post saying, "Hey, they passed on it. We're not doing this anymore. I'm sorry. I just learned literally right before I was supposed to go on at this convention panel, and I just want you guys to know we worked really hard, but a certain executive who."
Now you're jumping ahead.
Well, I'm just saying what she said. She said a certain executive who bragged about not really being a fan of the show originally, didn't care about it, basically single-handedly axed this whole thing. And we maybe one day it'll work. And she's like, I love working with Chloe Zhao, who was basically spearheading this thing. Now my understanding is that's what she said, and everyone was like, what the hell? I know you were very vocal about it among many other people. Then I saw I don't remember if it was Variety or something where they were like, well, there was difficulty with production because they made a pilot and like the people saw it and they didn't really care for it, and Buffy was really not in it. Was barely, Sarah Michelle Gellar is barely in it. It was really more focused on the new girl, and they wanted to retool it and send it back to like do script rewrites, but they just couldn't, you know, latch onto an idea that they really loved, and so they passed on it. That's my understanding of the situation. So, am I
It
wrong?
is.
Or
It's close to the truth. It's not exactly what happened because the news. Well, first of all, yeah, we all waited for this reboot. It was interesting and exciting because first of all, it was Chloe Zhao's initiative and an Oscar-winning director who shot Eternals, and
mm-hmm.
she's a Buffy fan. And it did feel a lot that it's going to be a little bit inspired by the series of Book in Every Generation, which is like Buffy books released by Disney. So yeah, it was. And she got Sarah Michelle Gellar to return to the role, which is something she didn't want to do, and she said she would never do. She would never even consider it. So everybody was excited for this. And yeah, right. I think it was Sunday or maybe Monday. It was the end of last week. Definitely. Yeah, she posted the video on her Instagram saying that Hulu passed on the show, and that's pretty much all she said. She said that she like regrets to that it didn't happen and didn't say anything more. But then she did an interview with People, and that's where she explained that. There were some issues like with this particular executive whose name she didn't name, but later again, and she said that it's it's just strange. She didn't blame him exactly. The article title did, however, and People did too, because well, it kind of makes sense that a person with that much power would not want to see a show centered around girl power in general, because the times are what they are.
Right.
uh So yeah, the fans made up their minds, and I kind of agree with them. I think that it's a decision made by one person, and when yeah, some people say that they read the script. I haven't seen it. I haven't read it. But regarding the pilot that they shot, I don't think that they tested it with the audiences or the audiences that actually know what's going on. And Buffy fans, they probably like they test audience was probably that same executive who never watched the original show and didn't like it. And how can you not like it if you haven't watched it? He was like, it's not for me. Well, that logic, what people use that logic, kind of like the narrative writes itself. Mm. But the thing is that while a lot of people were like, yeah, I read the script and Buffy was only at the end of it and it was very focused on the new Slayer. But I mean, come on, that kind of is the point. Uh, because Buffy, the whole idea of the finale of Buffy was that she could go ahead and like, go on with with her life and do everything that she couldn't do because she had to be the Slayer. Now she could do these things, and of course, like there is gonna be a next Slayer. Or in that case, actually, several, a lot. But we it's a show for a new generation. It's not just a show for the old fans, the 90s kids who watched it on TV. It is a show for a younger generation, and they should be able to relate to the new character. And you should create a character that for them would represent as much as Buffy represents for our generation. Like it says in every generation, kind of the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand this argument at all. But yeah, that was one of the, probably it was a like retaliation. Disney or Hulu released this, that yeah, that was the reason, and they wanted to rework it because it kind of missed its target audience, and it was too oriented like too much at younger people. So that's just weird to me. It doesn't make any sense. But I know that people are mad and they're upset and they write in letters to Hulu and they sign in petitions, which I haven't seen any petitions that got a lot of signatures yet, but we'll see. And they're sending stuffed animals or stuffed bunnies for some reason. I don't know. mm, to that executive whom
So
somebody.
do we know who this person is? Do we know who the guy
Well,
is?
I don't know that anyone knows for sure actually. Uh, for sure who that is, but I do know that a name has been named. And ooh, you know what? The funny things. Uh, I forgot the name. I just remember the face because it was kind of like this dude
Let me
with
get
this really long
let me
face.
guess. Let me guess. White guy.
Absolutely. Well, the whole executive board of
I'm
Hulu is white guy.
okay.
Well,
Okay.
like there are a few white women, but they're like
Let's
mostly
see.
white guys.
So
But right now, I was trying, and I googled before that to like confirm that these are all white people. But I googled right now like Hulu executives,
they
and it
scrubbed
sends
it.
me to a page. Yeah, it says nothing here, and I'm
They
like, you
scrubbed
know
it.
what? I am not surprised at all.
Nothing
Nothing here.
nothing says we're ducking smoke like scrubbing
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the page.
They're not even trying to beat the allegation. They're just confirming it. But and no, considering that like Bob Iger is leaving this, I think this week he was like leaving, stepping down as the CEO of Disney. I think he should take someone with him on his way out because that guy, I don't see it. It's not a smart career move. Regardless of you liking, hating Buffy, you should be liking money. And this is like yet another stupid idea by a white dude made for whatever reason because you just want to flex your power. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not cool. But I do have to add that like I really appreciate Sarah Michelle Gellar for the fact that she did not hide it like Hollywood people normally would. They would normally not talk about it. They would say like, "Oh, mutual disagreement" or some, fake PR bullshit like that. And she just told us how it is, like what
Yeah.
happened. Mm, so that was really cool, and like that's why you don't mess with Buffy.
Well, excuse me. That does happen a lot in people don't. I just don't really think hard about it, but Hollywood is mostly relationships, right? Whether or not you get money to do things, whether or not you get hired to be an actor, or some of the trade stuff is a little less that, but a lot of it is like really is relationships, and managing those relationships is important. So there's a lot of people talk about political correctness. Sometimes it's CYA. It's just, you don't want to burn a bridge you might need to cross later. So they don't really name names. They don't talk shit. But I get the impression Sarah Michelle Gellar she's not exactly hurting for money, probably. So it's not like
Hopefully.
and she's not really like, oh, I'm man, my career, I need to revive. Well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing great with reviving her career, and she, as far as I know, she has like other companies and other businesses going. And what I have noticed for a long time, like I don't know her personally, of course, but I have noticed that she stays friends and really good, close friends with a lot of people she works with.
Except
So
Joss.
that's not. Oh yeah, well, that tells me something about her, and like the way people talk about her and the way I see what she's doing and how she's taking care of her castmates and stuff like that. So yeah, you know what? I think that she's gonna be fine regardless of like whatever that Hulu that's a fight he doesn't want to pick because like
Yeah.
she has a lot more uh, power in my opinion than he does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's in a position of killing or not, or saving a show. So I think like he's got a pretty good, and you got to expect an executive at Hulu probably does. They've got their connections too. I'm less like concerned about that. She'll be fine. And I'm sorry for the Buffy fans that were really excited about this. Look, I feel your pain. This shit happens. This has happened multiple times with shows I've really liked, and the executive's been like, nah. and they snatched it
Yeah,
away
you
from
know,
us.
I don't think it's completely dead because like people are not gonna let it
It's
go,
probably dead though.
and that what?
It's probably this incarnation. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
Short,
this
short.
particular I don't know,
Yeah, but this
but
particular incarnation of it is with Chloe Zhao is probably going to not be attached to it ever again. Like whoever was writing on it, probably not. The only person who probably will get to be attached to it again is Sarah Michelle Gellar because she's the face of the of the show. So like I get it, and I don't. I think Buffy will be back. It's I don't. I think it's a matter of when, not if. I think what's more troubling to me is why the fuck are you working on a show you don't believe in? That's
that's a good
main biggest
that's
problem with this
yeah,
is
because
why
who
would you
ordered it?
why would you brag about not being a fan of it? That's not get the fuck out of the room then. Like I don't want people attached to these things that aren't committed. Like if you're just there, oh, I've been assigned like the worst team, I don't give a shit about this. Give it up. Like you what kind of cachet do you get from being like I'm the one that killed the Buffy reboot? I don't understand it. Like if this isn't your shit, if you don't care about it, if you're not passionate about it, you're just there for clout. Get the fuck away from it. I don't hate that. Like don't be involved with it. You're all you're doing is like you're just killing the goodwill for the show, and it's like great, and not just
Not
good,
really, not really. I
not just for
mean,
the show. I mean, like for the executive
for the
team.
company,
Yeah, for the
for the
company.
company, for the executive team that has to go into
Yeah,
hiding now
yeah,
because
because
I mean,
you're waving like you're waving your I'll be nice. You're waving your member around because you can. Like it's weird, and it's even weirder. Like if this had been like it's a weird optics because I'm a presumably a straight white guy executive, and you're killing a show that's really more female centric and positive about girl power and all that other stuff, and presumably they'll bring in more people of color this time around too. Like you get what I'm saying? Like it's weird. Like why would you? The optics of it are stupid, and like how can you be an exec? Like I could see if it was trash and you were just like for real, this was not it. But from what vantage of like any kind of authority would you know that? You don't know the show. You don't know and you don't care about the show.
exactly.
You how the fuck would you know if it's trash?
You know what? I again, Buffy is one of the probably most culturally important shows
Yeah,
of that decade. It
yeah.
changed a lot of stuff. It brought a lot of new stuff to for TV. It's still talked about. It's studied in universities and stuff like that. How come? Like, how did you get that job?
Oh well, that's easy. It's really easy to
Hmm.
getting executive jobs without having any real experience is not that hard, especially given who you are and who you know. That's not. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you know, how do I get Bob Iger's old job?
Yeah.
He
Well,
obviously doesn't want it anymore.
my thing is like don't be involved with shit you don't care about. Hollywood. It's a business. I get it. I understand that. But you need to have some passion for the shit you're making. If you're not, what are you doing? What are you doing there? If you don't have passion for like look, I've been shit talking David Ellison a lot. And I'll continue to. He's trash. But my understanding is he actually does give a fuck about movies. Like he's been a producer of movies. Skydance is his company. They've been making like Skydance makes cool stuff. I'm not gonna say that they don't. That's what I'm trying to say. Like he actually gives a shit about this stuff. So at some level, even if he's trying to make a propaganda, company and whatever, he does give a fuck about movies. This guy, I don't know who this is, but like, what are you doing? Get away. If you don't care about the product, get away from it and let somebody else do it. That's all.
Well, you know, on a more positive note, apparently we're getting an animated show about
For
fireflies,
Firefly.
which
Yeah.
is yeah.
Cool. I'm down. Like animation, I think I've said it before, animation is kind of the future for avoiding kind of the monetary issues, you know. Like if I get people don't really respect
Or
it.
the fact that you can't have these actors be that same
Yeah,
age forever and look
you
the
can.
same forever, which is also great.
I think animation is the way to do sequel series, really, that are taking place within the same time period of the original show rather than 30 years later. But that's a conversation for another time. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Buffy if they fix it. I don't think I don't have
She tends to come back like Jean Grey.
yeah, yeah.
She's died twice already.
I don't have confidence that this version will ever see the light of day.
Oh, I
Hopefully,
don't know. We'll
maybe
see.
maybe
We'll
they'll
see. It's
release
not
the
a threat.
script. Maybe they'll release the scripts or something, and we'll get to see what happens. So, let's talk about something else that's got me annoyed as hell. That is, this is the Sinners snub and decentering the Oscars. I I'm plenty of people. On Sunday night, I didn't watch the Oscars because I don't care about the ceremony at all. I'm not gonna sit there and watch a bunch of stuff. Oh, what happened? Oh man, you know what? Give me a second. I got I put the wrong thing on. Anyway. Yeah, Sinners. Look, it didn't get shut out. I said snub. That's not completely what happened, right? It it didn't get snubbed so much as it didn't do what I thought it should have. You know what I'm saying? And that is that I think it should have won Best Picture. I was saying that for and by the way, it lost out to One Battle After Another. I saw both of them. I like both of them. Sinners is a better movie in my opinion. Autumn Durrell Archipel won for she's the first woman to win best cinematographer and
very deserved.
deservedly. Like it's not even a question. Like I'm so serious. And by the way, I didn't see Marty Supreme, so I don't even know who else got. I just know
Uh,
that
it
it doesn't
didn't
matter.
didn't
It
win
it
anything
it does
anyway.
well. Yeah, Marty Supreme getting shut out, cool, but because it's obvious Oscar bait. But what I'm saying is, she won. She's the first woman to win. She's a woman of color who won. Um, deserved it 100%. That's not even not a question. If you've seen Sinners, you know the cinematographer. She deserves it for the what do they call it? The surreal montage by itself. This just the surreal montage. It's to me the surreal montage itself should have won Sinners best movie, best film by itself at that one scene. But whatever, she won, deserved. Michael B. Jordan won, deserved. Like it's not even a question. He played two characters, working twice as hard to be considered just as good as the other people. Sean Penn won for over Delroy Lindo. That was Highway Robbery. Again, I saw both movies, so I actually know I'm speaking from a place of authority, and I understand it's all subjective. Highway Robbery, Delroy Lindo should have won. One Battle After Another won Best Casting. Highway Robbery again. It should have been Sinners. I liked One Battle After Another. I'm gonna keep. They won for editing. I think they deserved the editing. It was very good editing on that movie. So I'm speaking from a place of I know what I'm talking about. I watched both, but they lost out. Ryan Coogler should have been best director and over Paul Thomas Anderson. But I'm gonna tell you, I predicted that Paul Thomas Anderson was gonna win because he's been in the game longer, and this is rewarding him for other things he didn't win for, right? Also, One Battle After Another won, and I predicted, I said on Threads before, I was like, oh, Ryan lost. That means that One Battle After Another is going to be Best Picture, and it was. Again, should have been Sinners. All right, Mo, great. You're upset that your favorite movie didn't win an Oscar. So what? Why is this a thing? Why do we care about this? Well, I think it's pretty clear because remember, Ryan won at the DGA, he won Best Director, right? That means that all the directors said you're the best director, right? Uh
And they were
so
right.
and they're right. I I like One Battle After Another. It's got some problematic shit in it for sure. It's an entertaining movie. And I don't again, Sean Penn should not have won. I think Delroy. But this
I
really,
mean, you know what? Excuse me, but like, how did Sean Penn even get into it? Wasn't he like banned from everything? Didn't he
it's
get
not
kicked out?
not
Isn't
bad.
he like somebody who's not,
No, he's
you
not.
know, handshakeable?
No, he's not. He is not a. He's not canceled. He doesn't really fuck with Hollywood that much, like the way other people do. But look, he did put in a really good performance. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying it wasn't as good as Delroy, in my opinion. What I'm getting at here is, when I said decentering the Oscars, this I've been thinking this for the better part of the last year because I've been predicting in my I didn't want this to happen. I wanted Sinners to win, but I've been predicting since probably around when did One Battle happen? One Battle came out like mid-year last year, right? It's somewhere mid like in the summer or something like that. Ever since I've seen that and they started talking about who might, and then Marty Supreme came out, I was like, they're gonna rob Sinners. And I was thinking at the beginning when I saw Sinners, I was like, oh, Sinners should win. But I was like, they're gonna rob them. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. This movie is too black, way too black, and way too challenging to white supremacy to get in to even white liberals to really like get on board. And so I was telling my daughter while we were watching the results come in, I was like, they're gonna give this is gonna be Michael B. Jordan's. He's gonna be the consolation prize, and because we're talking about major awards, right? Cinematographer is good, is a big one. It's not major. The majors are best actor, best actor, best actress, director, picture of the year, right? And I was like, oh, they didn't give it to. Oh, they Michael B. will get it. That's gonna be a consolation because they are definitely gonna give it to One Battle, and they did. One Battle is in its messaging is there's some problematic shit in it, but it's the same one thing with Crash. It's these, it's white liberal Hollywood patting themselves on the back that they're doing the woke thing, right? With Crash or whatever, with Green Book, with shit like that. They're making themselves feel better about, oh yeah, we live in a white supremacist hellscape, but at least we're acknowledging it and we're doing the woke thing. And it's that foolishness that is why I think we need to decenter the Oscars. Because to me, there ain't gonna be no justice. They're not gonna call it fair or down the line because there is a centering of the white American and in particular experience and white supremacy in general that is culturally baked in to the people who are voting. And so they can't they can recognize, but they can't ultimately overcome this kind of cultural indoctrination that won't let them, you know, really kind of give a movie like Sinners its due. Also, the fact that Sinners was basically a horror movie, so there's that too. There's so much prejudice baked into just the culture that a Sinners can't win out over a One Battle after another, even though One Battle is, I think, inferior in many ways. At the very least, it's not an original movie. It's like Sinners is a wholly original thing. One Battle is an adaptation of a book that had some shit changed in ways that I don't think were necessarily good. So anyway, I've said a lot. This is my rant because I'm not, and it's not just me being salty about Sinners losing. That's not what this is. This is me recognizing a problem that we've been talking about the Academy for more than a decade. Because remember, Oscar so white. Remember that? Remember that hashtag from like 10 years ago? The shit is still true. Just because Mahershala Ali has won a couple of Oscars and shit like that, and Michael B. Jordan won. That doesn't erase the fact that when it comes down to it, there's this, cultural hegemony that's at play that won't allow other, kind of other cultural viewpoints to win. All right, I said my piece. I'm sorry for dominating. What's your take on it?
Well, first of all, I do also have a lot to say about this because, first of all, I am definitely salty when Cinema's not winning everything because it deserved everything. Second of all, I do agree with your take that Oscars be either like decentered or completely reworked because even the fact that such a thing as Oscar bait exists,
Hmm.
uh, it is already um, discrediting the whole institution. But it is like a lot of things are weird for me because I do still kind of uh I watch these movies and I don't always watch everything because I most of the time the best movie is the one that I either didn't watch or didn't like. Uh
Hmm.
Surprisingly.
Hmm.
But I do watch them and I always criticize them from the aesthetic point of view, like what I liked, what I didn't like, what worked, what didn't work. For me personally, considering my knowledge and which is may not be like professional movie critics knowledge, but like a person who studied some forms of art and who knows like just by reading and watching stuff. Mm, so it is bizarre the fact that the movie that had the best lead actor and the best cinematography did not win the best director because who organizes all these processes, who
Hmm.
navigates them, that is not only absurd, this is unrealistic. It's just not true. If you have these two awards, you definitely have the best director awards and you probably have the best picture awards because already you have the best screenplay.
Yep.
So yeah, no,
Best
that just
original.
doesn't work, that just does not compute. Yeah, best original to uh, make things even worse. uh, when it comes to like things that they were definitely robbed for the best supporting roles, both of them, because I did not see the performance that won the supporting role, but you could see the agenda there.
Well,
You see, they
can
didn't
I
give it
interject?
to either one of the front runners.
Can I
Yeah.
interject real quick?
Mhm.
The only one I consider acceptable is and I love Wunmi Mosaku. Like y'all don't, yeah, I love her. I and I wanted her to win, but that's the only one where I'm like, okay, I could see it. Like Amy Madigan in Weapons is really, really freaking good. She's terrifying, and then that final scene where she's getting chased by the kids is just I think she's really, really good. So I that's the only one I'm like, oh, okay, if y'all were gonna do it, okay, I get it. But yeah, everyone else, no bullshit. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But see, that is my problem with most performances, and I think I said that a year ago in the same situation. But it's they do love to reward people who portray a vast range of emotions, and it is much easier, in my opinion, to portray a vast and bigger range of emotions than to create a character that is nuanced and that is not just screaming or crying or being terrifying, but being genuine. And Wunmi Masako did just that.
Hmm.
And Michael B. Jordan did that. And Delroy Lindo did that. So two of them were definitely robbed, in my opinion. I am extremely happy for Michael B. Jordan, though, because absolutely well deserved.
Hmm.
And another issue that I had is like best song. Yeah, I do
Oh yeah.
like K-pop Demon Hunters, the cartoon, and I do enjoy the songs that they have. But a lot of people brought up that K-pop is basically based on African American music, so that is one issue. But to me, a bigger issue is the fact that in this case, for some reason, they went with popularity over quality.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to music, when it comes to what it brought to music as a whole, uh, definitely yes. Sinners music and the songs that were in used in Sinners, they brought more to like it. This song is art. The way it's written, the way it's performed, the way it's performed live too. Because when you hear the Miles Caton's voice, it it is insane. It is a
Hmm.
whole experience. It is not comparable.
Oh,
And
can I
again,
add can I add that when
yeah,
you talk, and I'm
yeah, of
glad you
course.
mentioned because I forgot about this. I was that's that was the biggest to me. That's the biggest robbery of the whole night. If they, of all the robbery that happened with Sinners, that's the biggest one. It was best song, and I know I'm talking about best picture. I'm so serious. I watched both of them also, so I know what I'm talking about. Um, Golden is a fucking run of the mill K-pop song. It is like debate with your mama. It's a run of the mill K-pop song.
It is a good song,
It's
and
good.
it is a popular song. It's just not art,
Well, I mean,
because what, like,
I'll even say it's
it's not
art.
high art.
I'll even say it's art. I mean, it is a piece of art because it's a song. What I'm saying
I mean,
is,
art in high definition.
and
It's
yeah, but I'm
yeah.
saying it's art. It's related to the movie. It moves the story along. It does. It's yeah. It's doing what it's supposed to. It is a run of the mill K-pop song. It just is. There's nothing. It's not doing anything special. It's not doing anything in particular that's out of the way that you couldn't get from any other pop song. That's kind of the point. It's a fucking pop song, right? It's not the highest it's not the highest example of K-pop as an art form. It's not. It's a very good K-pop song. It is not a better song in its totality. It's not even close to a better song than I Lied to You is. Not even close. As in terms of artistic expression, like if it's lyrically it's not better, it's not musically better. Hell, you can all say Golden doesn't exist without blues. So this is a cornerstone of the song of the music that makes Golden even a song, right? Besides the fact that the cultural appropriation aspect of it is very fucking problematic. I don't that's K-pop bothers the shit out of me for that. Beyond that, it's you if you perform Golden live versus what they like the entirety of what I Lied to You performing it live means, it's night and day.
Yeah,
As a piece of art, it is miles ahead. Singing, musical composition, what it does for the story. Again, it's the music of the surreal montage, which is hands down the best scene in all of film in 2025. It's not even close. There's no other one scene in any movie at all that's better than that scene. And that scene is better than pretty much most of K-pop Demon Hunters. Again, debate with your mama. So
that is not all. I'm not even done yet.
yeah.
Because
Anyway,
yeah, the song, there is they were nominated for best sound mixing, I think. And how did they not get that? To me, is also shocking, because again, the way every sound within that movie complements the scene that it's accompanying. That is that speaks volumes. If you watch it carefully, I mean, and not for the first time, the more times you see this movie, the more you notice. But I am extremely happy that again Ludwig Göransson won an Oscar for
yeah.
the soundtrack. Absolutely deserved. And that doesn't even cover what I wanted to say, because I wanted to say to talk a little about the music element, like the soundtrack of this movie. First of all, it absolutely goosebumps every time you hear it. Amazing soundtrack. But second of all, like, what an example of a person who respectfully, like, being a white guy from Sweden, he treats other cultures with such respect. And when he writes his music, and when he creates the things like Black Panther soundtrack,
Mm-hmm.
he not only credits the culture that he's borrowing from and the people who helped him collaborated with him on that. He creates something that does respect its roots in every way. So that is a lot. That is like very, very great example of artistic allyship, and it's just awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Ludwig, but
Very, very well deserved. And I think that, like, there is no a composer of this level. I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
And you can say John Williams, but John Williams is way less original. And I'm gonna die on that here.
I'm not. I can't even.
Uh,
I'm not going to
you
argue with you.
y'all should not try to argue with me because I will argue it into the ground. He's not that original. And like,
Iconic,
with
but
all due
like
respect,
originality,
I
no.
got no, yeah, no. Ludwig Göransson, he's like in the same line with like Mozart and Tchaikovsky. These are the people who like his peers.
Nice. But yeah, they robbed them for song of the year. It's. I think it's just telling. I was like, this is gonna be the Oscars to me that reminds me of the limitations of so-called woke liberal Hollywood. Liberal Hollywood is, at the end of the day, they're privileged white people, and I'm not saying that they're doing it maliciously. I won't go that far, but they are in a sense always going to kind of defend the system, so to speak, that allows them to exist in their privileged position. And it, again, I don't think it's malicious. It's just a default way. They think this is the way it is, and then so their ability to, I think, like I'm really surprised, but then I remember all the other things that were nominated that year. That Parasite won Best Picture because it's foreign language and everything. But I'm also not surprised because, I mean, they're not white, but like they're not black. And anti-blackness is always on the menu whenever you sit at any table. I think that the fact that the Oscars, the Academy is so skewed in one particular direction means that it's that a person like Spike Lee gets passed over, which is wild. His filmography should have had him nominated for, like, he didn't win for Malcolm X, which is a fucking crime. Um, the Academy, so white, is a real deal, and they're older. As a lot of them Academy of voters are older white people, and you're just
I
like,
mean,
what?
they probably saw the clan in Sinners and were like, oh,
They're like,
that's me.
yeah, or they
That's
saw the
how old
Klan
they
and
are.
they're like, we should have talked to them. Why couldn't we dialogue with the Klan? I'm like, but you get
Well, I think he did, like Michael
yeah.
B.
I mean,
Jordan's character. He
he's
did dialogue. He did talk to them really well in their language they understand. The only one.
exactly.
A grenade in your fucking window.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to beat this drum too much. I'm so serious. Until the Academy is a lot more diverse and is diverse and like the not just the racial component, but the international, the cultural components. Until it's more diverse, so that I'm saying we got to descend, we got to care less about the Oscars, because to me they're not telling us what's actually the best picture or best song or whatever. They're saying what a bunch of people that are pretty homogenous are saying about a thing. In the same way that the Golden Globes isn't telling us what's really the best. There's like 50, 60, 100 people saying to us this is the best thing. Well, great. Well, the BET Awards is black people being like, these are the movies we thought were best, or this is the best performances. I think we gotta diversify the awards and not care as much about the Oscars, because it's pretty clear to me, again, until they diversify themselves, they aren't going to be representative. They're going to represent a certain viewpoint and a certain certain section of the world, and in particular America, and what they think. And we have to care less. Like, it'll be cool if they honor us, but even if they don't, we know Sinners was the best picture, and we don't have to care that
Well, they know it too.
yeah, and we don't have to care about their little politicking as much. Anyway, I think we've gone on quite enough about that. So go see Sinners again, and run up the love, and show love for everybody that was in it. So let's talk about the one bit of news before we talk about the trailer, and that was Damon Lindelof. Kind of Grant Morrison kind of gave Damon Lindelof the business. In a Substack posting, Grant Morrison had some things to say about Damon Lindelof was on a podcast a couple years ago, and basically was they were like, well, why is it lanterns and not Green Lantern? And he was like, well, we kind of agree the green is kind of stupid, and we're not, we're just talking, why has it got to be Green Lantern? He said that it was a small thing, but Grant Morrison heard about it and was like, yo, what, this is the problem. So I want to read the quote. Well, actually, I'm not, because the quote is very long. Um, so Grant Morrison says, the green in Green Lantern is not stupid. Why does a writer attach himself to this kind of narrative if he thinks it's fundamentally stupid? You don't hand CSI scripts to patronizing writers who condemn forensics experts and their haircuts as stupid. So why hire people who are ashamed and in denial about the comic book material they've been assigned to develop? Why don't they turn down jobs they're not suited for? It's not like he needs the money, and Lindelof has proven that he can come up with his own ideas. What is this jockish dismissal of superhero conventions intended to prove anyway? Does Lindelof imagine it makes him seem less nerdy? It's a bit too late for that. So what's it all about? The only people who give a fuck about the Lanterns TV series are Green Lanterns fans. Why alienate them at the start? That feels more like stupid. Green Lanterns is a much more evocative and dramatic title than Lanterns. Just as Raise the Red Lantern is a better movie title than Raise the Lantern, and anyone who can't grasp why that is shouldn't be anywhere near superhero stories. The show might even be good, but how much better could this stuff be if studios were willing to hire the right people for the job instead of phoning their embarrassed friends to water the source material down? Hollywood will die of insularity and inbreeding. That last line is something. But I look, I'm on board with what Grant Morrison has to say. Like, and I sort of mentioned
Did
this
did
in talking
Grant
about
Morrison
Buffy.
want the job
No,
with
that's
the
the thing is
show?
Grant Morrison is not a TV
Sounds very
writer,
salty.
and they know they're not a TV writer. They're a book and comic book writer, and that's fine. Their source material has leaked into some of what DC has done, and even what Marvel has done, because they wrote on X-Men, and what was it,
Yeah, of course.
and
Hmm.
among other things. So I think we can take Grant Morrison's words as not authoritative, but like something to listen to. And I said this about the Buffy thing: is why work on a thing that you don't respect? Why
Yeah, but
attach yourself to something you who's I get it that we get all other what do you call it, other viewpoints and everything, and maybe you can kind of come with a fresh take. I'm not saying that's not true. I think it's weird that a fundamental aspect, because the spectrum matters in Green Lantern. So taking the green out of Green Lantern is weird. Um, so yeah, but
there
before I
are there are. Oh yeah, go
now
ahead.
saying before I say Lindelof's response, I what do you think about Grant Morrison's his words on this?
I first I think yeah, at first I thought it was like pretty salty. Then I read the original comment that like the response was addressed to, and then I read the following comment, and this is all just kind of like smells like a misunderstanding. But in general, first of all, lanterns doesn't mean that. Well, it like many people points out, it could mean that there are different lanterns involved. Uh, but we talked about it, and regarding the fact that like people who are not fans of the property work on it, in some cases it is really, you don't have to be a fan, but you do have to be respectful. But actually it's better if you're not a fan.
Mm,
If you know the property, if you respect it, but you're not a fan, because we know how fans are trying to like do what, well, they just view things differently. They not trying to find what's best for the character. They trying to find what they want for the character, and they want all the good things for the character, which is not necessarily a good thing from the narrative point of view. So
yeah. No, I agree. There's a fine line because James Gunn is obviously a fan of the comics. It's not even a question. We know for sure, but his primary goal is to tell a good story. And so
Yeah.
the things within the comics, he's not married to the idea of like this, we must do this exact same
It's
thing.
a story you would want to read as a fan, not a story that you would want to leave as a self-absorbed in
Yeah.
a story.
It's a there's a fine line. Not everyone's capable of it. And I think starting out with respect for the source material is it's a given. If you can't just be like, well, that's really stupid. Like, you can't be like, well, kryptonite is kind of a dumb idea. It's just a way to water down this guy. Like we should, like I don't. It's dumb. Well, you're kind of like shitting on a very important aspect of Superman's, character. Uh, and if you don't respect that, it's gonna show. Um, but I think you're right. This misunderstanding is probably what's at play here because Lindelof saw this and kind of the dust up as you will that came about because of it, and he basically was like, all right, well, I gotta address this, and he did. And to his credit, he was like, look, there's a tendency to be like, oh well, I'm gonna go on the defensive, I'm gonna double triple down, I'm gonna lash out. But he didn't do that. He was like, my bad. I don't know if I necessarily want to read all this. He's basically like, look, I am a Green Lantern fan. I've been a Green Lantern fan for a long time. This was a dumb joke that I made on a podcast. Clearly, I do respect the source material. We're working our ass off to make a great show. We all, believe in what we're doing it. But I said something stupid that wasn't meant to be serious, and Grant Morrison heard it and was like, "Nah," and I've kind of pissed them off, and I'm look, my bad. I'm trying to do justice to Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, and we're I hope you guys watch and see that we are serious and we do respect the material. Cool. Look.
That's a problem out of nothing.
Yeah, it was a lot of look. It might have been a lot of this might be a nothing burger. I'm excited for Lanterns personally. I've seen all
I just
this.
want a
Yeah,
burger.
yeah. uh, I've seen all this belly aching from people about where's the green at in Green Lantern. That's why this is probably a little bit bigger. There's a lot of people who are haters and want this to fail. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of agendas at play here. My only agenda is I want to watch good shit. And I suspect Grant Morrison's only agenda is I want to watch good shit too. And I'll even say Damon Lindelof is I want to watch good shit also. I also want to make
It's probably
good
I want to make great
I
shit.
want to make good shit too. Like we're all okay, we're all in agreement. We want the shit to be good. So, what's this really is just like, oh, you know what? Just an off the cuff remark just got kind of blown up into a thing, and there's a lot of people on the internet with way too much time on their hands and some agendas. Let me just clear the air. We're good. Like just watch the show. You'll see we're not playing. We're trying to do the right thing. And but to be fair to Grant Morrison, good. Call it if it seems weird, call the shit out. And like we just want everyone to be on the on the right track. That's all there is. And I also will
Yeah, and
say
watch what they saying.
I love that Lindelof was like, look, I love Grant Morrison's work, and if I'm pissing Grant Morrison off, clearly I got to make sure I'm back on the right track here. So taking some self reflection also, and to just be like, look, well, I'm clearing the air. We're not beefing. That I'm not gonna double down. We're not doing any of that stuff. I'm just gonna be like, my bad, and we're gonna do right. Oh my god, on the internet, people, y'all on the internet, someone said I'm wrong, my bad, and just they're keeping it moving. What's what's happening? Cats and dogs living together, Republicans and Democrats coexisting, together. Oh, who knew things could happen? Um, anyway, I just kind of want to talk about that. This look, internet beef is always fun, but I really just care. I want lanterns to be dope. That's all I care about. So like, let's move on. Uh, Speaking of moving on, let's talk about which we actually care about. Brand New Day dropped a banger trailer. Um, Destin Daniel Cretton is over there cooking, straight cooking. Tom Holland, remember he was saying earlier, he was like, I look at the internet and I see what fans are talking about, and I really want to like, you know, take that into account
Please,
when I'm
everyone.
making things. And I was like, no, stop doing that. Don't listen to us. We don't know what we're talking about. We just want
Except me.
cool. Yeah, except Polly's the only one you can listen to her, but like the rest of us, ignore us. Just cook. Do what you think should work, and make it happen. And hopefully it will work.
It's funny that he was talking like he's the director or like the writer of the
He
movie.
has a
What
lot
way do you have?
he has a lot more sway now. Not hit the deal that he took to do this next trilogy. It was probably big payday. He's got a little more creative control, which I'm down with. This is his character. He should have some like if he has any good ideas, or he should have like it's Ryan Reynolds has the same thing, right? With Deadpool. Deadpool is his character, and he's got a lot of sway over it. Way more than Tom.
Nah,
Way
tell
more than
that to Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld is
He's
lucky.
probably camping out in front of the of Ryan Reynolds' house, still
he,
waiting
he
to like get
he's lucky.
invited in.
Yeah, he's lucky to be involved at all, which is not
I
which
hope
is to
he's
say,
not. Yeah.
not at all. He just gets royalties. But I had a lot of I had a lot of confidence in this because Shang-Chi is great, and also Wonder Man just came out and it's dope. And remember, Destin Daniel Cretton, he directed the first two episodes, writing all the other stuff, dope. This trailer hit, and we've seen a lot about this movie because of like behind the scenes, and then they did the little reveal of the suit and everything like that. All this stuff is going on. This is a high profile movie. It's a movie
Oh yeah,
that
but
Marvel really
then
really
they
wants to
released
hit.
this whole clips
Yeah,
thing.
did they
I
do
forgot
that
about
weird?
that.
They did that weird shit
Shit.
to release the trailer in bits and they did social, influencers, and I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. I'm so serious. I was like, I'm not watching any of this stuff. I'm waiting for the trailer, and I'm glad I did. This trailer's so damn good. God, oh my god, it's so good. I want to say more. I've been talking a lot. I want to say more. I just saying the trailer's awesome. How did this trailer hit you?
Well, it was early morning. No, it wasn't. I did enjoy it quite a lot. First of all, yeah, I think that this short clips threw me off a little because it was just weird and out of nowhere. And it was like all day you kept getting this weird like gifs with Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
jumping or falling or something, and everybody kept reposting them, and I just didn't care because they don't give me anything. It's like, and I wrote this to someone in the comment because I complained about it, and someone was like, "Why are you complaining? You getting stuff?" And I was like, "It's like getting breadcrumbs before an appetizer for some reason."
Yeah.
Because the trailer is an appetizer for the main course, but this is just, it's not even bread, it's just breadcrumbs, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. But the trailer itself, oh my god, it was, and I also said this immediately on threads, that it did feel like what I wanted No Way Home to be. And I talked sometimes about how I don't really like No Way Home because it doesn't focus on a Spider-Man as much as it focuses on like the three Spider-Man, and it's
Mm,
entirely unnecessary to me, in my opinion, when we should be focusing on his story and advancing it, and like building the more meaningful relationships around with people around him, or like destroying them or something like that, but not trying to like bring in two random dudes who for some reason feel a connection, and we're supposed to just believe that they have a connection because they're the same person. Doesn't
right.
make, never mind. I'm not gonna focus on that. But this story seems exactly like one I wanted that one to be. Like if it went the way I wanted it to go, when in the beginning this whole like secret identity would be leaked, and then there would be this a spell by Doctor Strange, and it would work. And then Spider-Man would have, like, first he would have to deal with the consequences of his uh, persona being leaked, and we would be following him through that. And then he would deal with the aftermath of like his identity being, like, he being forgotten by everyone. And this is what we where we're dealing with that, and it is really interesting and really exciting, and it's a chance to like build and make these relationships more meaningful, rebuild them again, see what he's like without like the influence of Tony Stark or Doctor Strange or anyone else. But apparently with Punisher for some reason during broad daylight. Uh, and the thing that excites me the most, I think, is that this is gonna be a story centered around Spider-Man, but we know. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty great, and it looks amazing too. I've seen some people complain about CGI, but like I always see people complain about CGI, computer graphics, whatever. That's just a never-ending story from people. Again, I remind you, who watched the Matrix and watched like the terrible, terrible CGI in Star Wars prequel trilogy and enjoy the hell out of it. Why the hell are you complaining now when everything looks almost realistic, but like there are tiny artifacts that you can notice, and sometimes you can't. Stop complaining about that. It looks great, and that shot that mirrors the comic book cover, again, amazing.
Yeah.
I love that they're doing that. They did that with Fantastic Four. They're doing this again. I can't wait for them to do that with X-Men.
And I do want to talk about that specifically. Uh, Everyone's happy that Pete's sad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sad boy Pete, or as I like to call him, regular ass Spider Man. Because god damn it, if people were like they were like, God, you could tell these are just normies. They're not really into the comics. They're like, why is everybody so happy that Peter is sad? And I'm like, y'all don't understand. If Peter's ever happy, you know some bullshit's just about to happen. If Peter's
Just
happy,
like Daredevil.
if Peter's happy, you know some bullshit's about to happen. So you want him
Yeah.
sad. You want him like just like
To succeed, he
what you
needs to be
yeah.
sad.
You want him to be woe is me because that means everything else for everybody else is just normal. It's just normal regular shit. If he's sad,
Better him than us.
if he's happy, New York City's about to get hit by something. So, um, yeah, he's a sad boy, and he somehow lives across the hallway from Ned and MJ.
That's not creepy at all.
It's okay. He's cyber stalking them while they're
He's
they're
just sucking them. He's
yeah.
legit just like, he probably hangs out outside like MJ's window.
He's just somehow he's also an undocumented alien because you know he made up all of his new credentials. But he's going around kicking the shit out of masked people. He knows the Punisher. Apparently they've encountered each other before because they're very chummy. Uh, and when they're interacting, there's also some damage controls there doing something, and they're looking out for a villain that's
What
looks like.
damage?
Well, yeah, they're looking for Trammell Tillman's in there. He looking cool as the, I guess, field office director of I don't know, of damage control. There's a bad guy who can switch bodies. We don't know who that is. Peter is apparently morphing into like something. He's mutating into something else because he's going to have organic web shooters. There's a lot of stuff happening in this, and we get Michael Mando as Scorpion is back. We never actually saw him as Scorpion, and he was just in like a post credit scene before. There's so much going on in this, and I'm down with it. Like, people be like, it's overstuffed. Oh, we also see Bruce Banner in it. It's overstuffed. Again, normies. That's Spider-Man's life. It's always too much shit going on. He's always juggling a million things, besides the fact that he has to kick the crap out of like some bad guy. That's the way. If his life isn't a chaotic mess, what are we even doing here? Like, I'm just saying. I did want to, and also we didn't see Sadie Sink. We still don't know who she's going to be.
Or if she wasn't cut.
Oh, she's not
from the
cut.
movie.
They're not. No, but
Oh, you don't know that.
they're gonna. So Megan, Vigilante Vibes thinks it's Carly Cooper, who, if you read the Brand New Day comics, was a character that was brought in that run. I'm still hoping for Firestar, because I want to see Spidey and his amazing friends. Some people are saying Jean Grey. Who knows?
No. You know what? I need to talk about that. It's not gonna be a mutant character. If it's gonna be a mutant character, that would be as ridiculous to me personally as bringing in two extra Spider-Man to like keep Peter company or whatever.
Right.
Uh, Stop trying to make Jean happen. She's not going to happen.
Could it be Typhoid Mary? Typhoid Mary is a mutant,
Oh, that,
but is
no,
all
she should, excuse me, she should not be in like Peter's drama. She should be in Daredevil's drama because like
well. That's a thing.
that's her
That's
place. She is
let's
much older. She's married to Kingpin now. It would be weird.
that
And no, that's
that's
Matt's
the
girl.
thing.
No, mm-mm.
That's the thing,
Stop
though.
stealing
We already
this
have
from.
we already have the cross pollination of Punisher, so he's the Netflix and Daredevil side of the MCU.
No.
He's in it, and we have the Hand, right? So the Hand is in it, and there's a really good picture, or like a visual of.
Yeah.
And someone was pointing out, and I'm derailing my point here, but why Matt could be in it, even though what's I forget the
He
guy.
could.
He could be in this because there's a picture
He could.
of Spidey jumping at the Hand, and there's possibility that it's not just Spider-Man in the image, that they have digitally removed one or two other people who are also fighting the Hand in that image.
I mean,
So
I don't know if it could be. It could be like Shadowland scene. It
yeah.
could be. There was a lot of drama during Fisk's mayorship, but it should not be Jean Grey, and it cannot be
Yeah.
Typhoid Mary because like she's way too young to be Typhoid Mary in this
Well,
universe.
it could be, but we don't know. That's the thing, is the MCU. It could be anything.
Oh,
but
also,
I'm down. I'm down with it
I
being
don't think
Firestar.
I no more mutants, or at least no
Or-
mutants until
okay,
you're ready
okay.
to introduce
I'm gonna
mutants.
say, okay,
because don't
Wanda.
make the-
Okay, Wanda.
I have Wanda right there. I'm pointing at her.
She
See?
said no more mutants before there were mutants. So,
What,
May-
yeah?
wait, by the way,
Preemptive
this
Wanda.
is weird. This is weird. Like, again, this is making, because the things you're saying making me think of other things. What if the MCU is the universe after Wanda said no more mutants? What if that's the reason why mutants aren't there? It's because she's already said it, and that's why there are no mutants.
I want to be surprised by a movie, and besides,
anyway. Just
stop doing this.
No, yeah, I get it. Carly Cooper would be a letdown to me, just because I want to see Sadie Sink like be a badass with powers. And Carly
Felicia
Cooper,
Hardy, why not?
yeah, Carly Cooper has no powers, so she's just a police person. We need more of them in the MCU.
Black Cat.
I mean, it'd be
She
cool
can dye her hair or wear a wig.
Yeah, she could. She could do like
and Black Cat is like an essential part of Spider-Man.
And I thought it would be cool if she was Jackpot personally. I know people don't love Jackpot, but I've always liked the character. I like the character. I thought it was a good swerve. We're not gonna get a redheaded MJ. Where the MJ we have is Zendaya. So, cry about it some more, incels.
Oh, they're gonna.
But we're not gonna get a redheaded MJ. So, Jackpot's to me, Jackpot has powers and is cool, and also has, and the red hair is not really her hair, so it could be cool.
What is it? What if it's Madeline Pryor?
I mean, it's a mutant. Then I mean,
wow,
like it's
complicated.
If it's gonna be Madeline Pryor, I want to see her getting fished out of the Hudson River. That being said, who knows? I'm
Exactly.
glad that
And who cares
I'm glad
before
that
we
they're
see if
keep
we don't
yeah
see it?
keep it like don't let us know who she is. I'm down with
Yeah,
that. I just want to know
just keep some secrets.
when is this taking place? Is this
One.
before or after Daredevil season one? That's all I want to know.
Is it before or after Doomsday?
Yeah, it's before Doomsday, but like this is a and there's a
When is
there's
Doomsday?
a 4 year time skip, and you know Pete's having a tough time the last 4 years. I just want to know again, is this before or after Daredevil season one or two? That's all. Let's talk real quick because I made a graphic for this, so we're gonna talk about it. Destin Daniel Cretton being a freaking comic book nerd. What a comic book nerd, and we love him for it because people clocked it immediately. The comic book covers. Now, one of the most obvious ones is the Amazing Fantasy 15 cover of Spidey swinging and having a carrying a guy, right? I love that. But there are other ones that I wasn't completely aware of. The tarantula. So we're gonna get somebody. Tarantula is in this. Boomerang is in this. The Hand is in this, right? And Scorpion obviously is in this. So we got these, you know, other characters with powers or suits or whatever the hell that are recreating Spider-Man, iconic Spider-Man covers. And let me tell you, that just makes my nerd heart sing because one of us is up there doing their thing. We got James Gunn at DC who is doing his thing, and he's like, "No, I love comics, and we're gonna make sure we do all the comic book shit." But Destin Daniel Cretton is like, "I'm doing it too. We're look over here, me too. I'm doing this too. Look at this iconic cover. I love that so much. Why are we getting? We're just getting blessed. That's what I'm saying. We're getting blessed. He made a banger with Shang Chi, and he's like, I'm like, trust me, I'm cooking over here too, and it's like normies are gonna watch it and they're gonna be like, that's a cool visual, and they won't get it. The rest of us that do get it will just, it played. It's kind of like remember in Fantastic Four that moment when I was like, you motherfuckers put Stan and Jack in this bitch. And if you didn't know anything about the history of Timely Comics or any of that or Marvel Comics and the Silver Age, if you didn't know anything about that, it was just a good little moment in Fantastic Four. But if you knew what you were looking at, you were doing the meme. You're doing the what is it? The Leo meme, right? Pointing at the screen. That's why I love that. Anyway, you're a comics nerd. You're a big old comics nerd, and you read comics for real, for real. How? What do you think about these little in live action covers? Oh, I say, did you lose my audio?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
just
I'm sorry. Did you
for a
lose?
second just
Sorry. Yeah. No, I'm saying, what did you think about these in the in movie comic book covers?
absolutely love them, of course. I love when I recognize them. I love when I don't recognize them too. But I want people to like keep in mind one thing that they might not necessarily mean that all these characters that you see there are going to be very like featured heavily in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a flashbacks or like something else, a montage, just whatever. Don't get too excited for so much stuff happening, because I hope it's not too much stuff because we already had this problem with Spider-Man. But in general, I'm just like really excited to see what it looks like, because this movie had a very different look and feel from all the previous ones. They were kind of more bright and mm, blue sky, bright costume, stuff like that. And they
Right.
really featured a lot of bright colors. This one is a little more dark and feels a little more serious, and I'm definitely here for it.
Yeah. I I imagine, and this is just because this is a teaser. They're not going to give too much away. Probably those covers are probably a montage of him kicking the shit out of,
Hmm.
because there's an aspect of Brand New Day, like I forget what it was, but there was one because Brand New Day it was releasing almost, it was like 3 times a month, but there was a part of it where it was like 24/7, where Pete was just like,
Hmm.
I'm just going to Spider-Man the whole time. I'm not I'm not even going to shower. I'm just going to go kick ass and I'm just going to be Spider-Man like for just the whole, days on end. No Peter Parker, nothing. And that could be an incorporation of that idea where he's just,
It could be he doesn't have a lot of going on, like
yeah. I mean,
with
he doesn't
people
have a
and stuff,
personal life. He barely has a job. Uh,
like most of us.
oh well, they released the trailer so you could feel a part of it. But they, he's got he doesn't have anything going on. He could spend his time, doom scrolling, or he could go beat the shit out of bad guys that have superpowers. We know what he's choosing. Um, so I think that could be a montage. We're not getting all of it. Hell, I even think the whole hand business could very well just be like, it's a very small part of this. And what the really big part is,
Mm.
who the hell is this? I'm going through changes. I'm potentially could have 6 arms. Who knows? And also there's this weird psychic villain that's going on. That's the real problem. But they're kind of keeping it close to the vest. I like that. It's all good.
Yeah, I like that. And honestly, I was thinking that like I could easily leave if this was the only trailer that we saw for this movie. Mm, would be so much more exciting because people would immediately start dissecting the trailer, guessing, trying to like build up fantasies in their head, and then they're gonna go to the movies and hate it because it wasn't Jean Grey and like the whatever guy number 15 wasn't in it like the whole time, or
Yeah.
the hand. Mm, so yeah, I'm just really glad to see some images from the movie, and like some kind of a teaser trailer, and I'm fine without a trailer, but I will definitely watch the trailer, and then I'm just not gonna read any predictions.
hmm Yeah, you're right. This is July. I think it was July
It's soon.
31st. Am I right on that? That sounds about right. July
It's not
31st.
that soon.
Yeah, so this is months and months away. We're gonna get a full trailer probably within the next couple months, which is cool. Also, this trailer is like hugely popular. It's easily the biggest trailer I think in terms of views in 24 hours. Um, it's huge. Everyone's really excited. Everyone's talking about it, and I think they should be. I'm glad. I love that they've released this. If y'all want to see my initial reaction, you can go check it out on the channel. It's a good time. I get animated sometimes. Believe it or not, I do get animated when I watch these things, and I can be very annoying, but that makes for good content. So go check it out. So anyway, what did you guys think about this? To get down there and talk about it in the comments section. Leave us some thoughts. So that being said, that's everything for this week. It's a slow news week, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with a slow news week. But when we have huge, whoops, that is the wrong one. That when we have a huge, amount of stuff to talk about. But maybe we missed something. Somehow we missed something this week, or you want to chime in on what we had to say. You want to praise us, troll us, whatever the case may be. You know what to do. Get down there to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up. It's a super not funny show at gmail.com. Blurred_force1 on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. One day I'm going to change this title card, but today is not that day. So don't ignore that TikTok thing. Just do what I say, not what not what you're reading. And while you're showing us love there, also show us love on YouTube. Get down there to hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other things we do on Blurred Force One. And of course, couldn't do this by myself. I needed Polly to give her opinions about stupid executives in Hollywood, how the Academy is just wrong, but also to nerd out about this Spider-Man stuff. It was dope. So where can they reach you on social media?
Co_mixed on Threads, on Tumblr, on Instagram.
Oops. Yes, co_mix, and
Oh,
also one day on Twitch. maybe.
One day, yeah,
What
eventually. So
you know what the thing is Polly's just so busy, tearing it up on Marvel Rivals. And it's way less exciting to put OBS together. So I can tell you, having done it for years and like I've been basically maintaining the exact same thing. I barely changed my setup for OBS. I get it. It's a pain, but we're gonna get her on Twitch and watch her play some Marvel Rivals eventually. Like I'm committing to it. I'm gonna show her what to do. So you gotta go check her out, show some love. So that being said, episode 222 of the Super Guys, we appreciate you coming and joining us, listening to us talk about all this superhero nerdy stuff. Come back next week. We got plenty more to talk about. We are going to talk about Invincible for sure, and we're also going to talk about Daredevil because remember it's dropping next week. So it'll be a big week. Hopefully there won't be a ton of news so we can nerd out about those two shows. So until then, I've been Mo, your comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.